All right, Apple's new AI tech is getting a lot of attention right now, but there's another piece of technology that they've crammed into the iPhone, and it's getting a big update with iOS 18. Let's take a closer look. Now, when you open the flashlight in iOS 18, you might notice something new here. Swiping up and down on these controls will adjust the output as it did before, but it's when you swipe side to side that you unlock one of the coolest features I've ever seen in a smartphone. This new software takes advantage of a design from Apple that I don't think they talk about nearly often enough. In my opinion, it's a brilliant innovation. This is the adaptive True Tone Flash module. It was first introduced in the iPhone 14 Pro. It uses an array of 9 LEDs and 2 lenses, what appears to be an aspheric lens and a Fresnel lens, in order to actually focus the light coming from this flash. Now, it was originally designed to improve your night flash photography by giving a more consistent lighting regardless of the lens that you use. However, when used as a flashlight, it means you can actually decide how focused that light is. Now, the widest setting will allow me to see my surroundings pretty effectively. It illuminates a nice wide area around me. But if I want to see a bit further away, I can just zoom in and punch that light further out. It's surprisingly effective. I mean, yeah, it's not a huge difference, but it definitely is a real difference. And I can see this being pretty useful in a variety of scenarios. It's also just really cool, you gotta admit. Now, Apple loves to wow us with their incredible designs and all that, but they don't really like to provide us with numbers. So I brought out the measurement equipment for this guy, and according to my laboratory calibrated integrating sphere, this guy only puts out 30 lumens, which if you're familiar with flashlights at all, you'll know that's not very much at all. In fact, it's quite dim. Actually, I measured the iPhone XR 3 years ago at 47 lumens, so this is actually a notable decrease. However, lumens are a measurement of the total amount of light output by a source, while candela is a measurement of intensity, or how far that light will throw. And I measured the intensity of this light at its most focus point at 49 candela, which is a significant improvement over any other iPhone that I've tested before. Being a flash module for a camera, of course you also want the color to be good. And I measured this using a Sekonic C700 color meter, which gives me a detailed breakdown of spectrum, CCT, CRI, all of that. Fancy ways of saying it tells me what the color is like of this. And I found that it was slightly on the warmer side. So I measured it at about 4400K and a CRI of about 95, which is quite solid actually. In terms of color accuracy, realism from the light, this is doing a pretty solid job. It is reliable as a flash for a camera, and that even improves its performance as a flashlight. You may find as you compare different emitters, different flashlights, that those with more accurate color provide less eye strain in a more realistic picture. They're just nicer to use. Apple has done a great job with this camera flash. Now, here's an interesting statistic for you. The iPhone might just be the most popular flashlight ever made, and this update definitely improves its utility. However, it's still a smartphone flashlight, which means using it will whittle away your important battery life for your phone. The interface is still pretty finicky, honestly, and it's a glass sandwich, so it's easy to drop in, pretty delicate. For all those reasons, and also the performance gap, yeah, I definitely don't think it replaces a real flashlight. I definitely recommend you still have one of those. But considering it's one of the most used tools on these products, on these phones, it's a pretty nice update. So in the flashlight world, kind of the holy grail is to be able to go between a floody flashlight and a throwy flashlight. And there's a lot of ways that this has been accomplished. One of the more common traditional methods is to have a zoom lens. So on a light like this, you have a lens that goes up and down, closer to, further away from the emitter. More modern flashlights, a lot of them have been doing this dual channel setup where you have basically 2 flashlights in one. So you've got a floody side and then a throwier side. Some manufacturers have been adding diffusion lenses in front of the emitters. So this is an incredibly cool example. This is an LEP, laser excited phosphor flashlight with an LCD diffusion lens. What that basically means is it goes from extremely tight and concentrated to wide and floody. So it covers both of those extremes very well. However, as you can see, it's a bit of a bulkier way of doing things. What Apple has done here is allowed for a method of focusing the light that is extremely compact it literally fits in a smartphone. Like, I just think that's so cool. I never would have imagined that you would even be able to do this. It's one of those things that just makes me feel like we're living in the future. Of course, you know, it's just a flashlight, but it's a cool flashlight. These features are going to be available on any iPhone with specifically the adaptive True Tone flash. So that would be the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max and the 15 Pro, which is what I've been showing you here. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to be on the new iPhone 16, but will be available on the iPhone 16 Pro. I don't know what Apple plans in the future, but I assume you can look for it in the iPhone 17 Pro and 18 Pro. And who knows what else they're gonna cook up for future iPhones. Okay, check this out. Lumos.
Okay, I've turned torch on.
Yeah, the whole time it was called torch, not flashlight. I've been lying to everybody. The feature is called torch, not flashlight. Just keep the flashlight on.
Okay, I've turned torch on.
Oh, man, she's smart. She's smart. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, we've got other ones on this channel, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your life. Knox.
Okay, I've turned torch on.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's cut.